Hello friends, it's Jackie here. So I'm not feeling too crash hot today, and I want to give you insight into why, and I'm going to share a technique that I use when I'm not feeling so crash hot, and it is also one of the techniques that you learn when you learn with me the Body Talk Access for Animals and Humans course. So there is a whole bunch of techniques that you learn that make up this wonderful program that you can do on a day-to-day basis. The techniques only take you about 10 minutes to do, and they are phenomenal. So on days when I'm not feeling crash hot, and I really am not feeling crash hot, um, I have been running fevers. I had itchy, scratchy throat last night. I am just feeling pretty blah. I didn't have a very good night's sleep. Um, it's kind of one of those experiences where you think maybe you're getting a bit of a cold, but you're not quite sure. So you're just sitting with it to see what goes on. So I don't try to run away from that process. I just let it be whatever it needs to be. It is change of season for everyone, no matter where you live in the world. It's a change of season where we're either going from cold climate into warmer climate or warmer climate into colder climate. And that is very typically the time when our immune systems look to do quite a significant clean out. So if there's any time where you've got built up stress, you have a lot of time that you haven't taken off, you've not had a lot of balance, there's been a lot going on, like there has been for me, then this is when the immune system and the body kind of looks to cash in and say, okay, you owe me. We were meant to take time off then, and you didn't take time off, and I kind of gave you indications, and I told you that we needed to rest and we needed to take it easy and we needed to take time off, but you didn't do that. So now I'm going to ask that you do that. It's so typical that the immune system looks to do a bit of a clean out, a reset at this time of year. So it is typical that people get coughs, colds, viruses. It goes on and on. Super normal. So when I felt myself over the last couple of days getting headaches and itchy, scratchy throat and running, low grade fevers and things like that, I thought, this is the last 9 weeks that I've had that I've been really aware of, that I've been pushing the limits a little bit. I've been aware of that. And so this is then the immune system saying, come on, let's do a little bit of a clean out now before this gets to be a thing. So that's what it's doing. So for those of you that don't know, about 9 weeks ago, there was 23 meters of water that came through our city and just sat there for days and days. And it led to an enormous amount of displacement for people, for animals, and it just ruined a lot of property. And so in the last 9 weeks, I've been supporting the community and a wonderful group of human beings who have been helping to support people getting back on their feet, getting food, getting just, bedding to be able to sleep in, a tent, things like that. A lot of homelessness going on right now. So the last 9 weeks for me has been a combination of coming in, doing the bare essential work that I needed to do, doing clinic, and then I'd be out at the flood hub, as we affectionately called it. It's a big shared distribution centre where we would have just thousands of people coming through looking for support of some kind. So this morning, yesterday, and the day before, I knew that my pushing the boundaries a little bit on what I could handle balance wise was starting to come looking for a payout from me, and said, okay, we need to have a bit of a clean out. We're going to help you come back into balance. And so this is what it looks like for a lot of people. I'm just fortunate that I get to recognize it. So what I want to do is share with you one of the many, many, many things that I do when I find myself in these situations where I'm just not feeling great. Maybe it's a changeover in the season and that kind of very typical immune system clean out process, and where it's really wanting to rebalance the body mind complex starts to come around. It's a technique called a cortices. It's phenomenal because not only does it do a brilliant job at helping to balance, reset the brain, it helps to promote communication between both hemispheres of the brain. That means that if the brain can have better circulation and better communication within all regions of itself, it means that then the brain is able to see more clearly into the rest of my body and see what is the priority, what's the most important thing that is being addressed at the moment, and how does it need to do that, because that's what the head brain's most primary function is out of the three brain complex. So you have the heart brain, the gut brain. The head brain is responsible for running this vessel. Okay, it's really good at doing that. And the other two brains have their own special roles, but we're not going to talk about that today. We talk about that in class. So this cortices technique, this is my go-to for if I'm really not feeling great, if I'm feeling tired and fatigued, if I've got stress, headaches, nausea, whatever. It's just a great all-rounder that you can do for pretty much anything. But the thing is, you also don't want to wait until something doesn't feel too crash hot until you do it. So just doing it as an everyday thing is phenomenal, all right? It's the first technique that people learn when they come and do the animal access and humans course with me. And you learn then, after learning cortices and really doing the ins and outs of that technique, understanding the brain physiology in a greater detail, we then go into learning the switching technique and what it does, the SB technique, which stands for sphenobasillar junction technique. Then we do an awesome technique which focuses on cellular hydration. Oh, love that one. And body chemistry, which is my all-time favorite technique for some reason. Out of the entire system and everything I teach, I just love that technique, probably because of the scope and what it really does. And then the last one is called reciprocals, and that is a whole bunch of different pairing techniques to reset circuitry throughout the body, and there's special ones for animals. So you get to learn two classes in one over 3 days online with me. And my next course I'm doing May 7th, 8th, 9th, and I still have the discount running for the next few days if you are so interested to come and join me. And I'll send you a beautiful manual and lots of resources and handouts and loads of support as well. So today, because I'm not feeling so great, I would normally be doing the cortices technique for myself anyways. And I thought, why not do it with you? Why not show you what the technique is, so that when you come and do the class with me, that you can go, rightio, I've got a sense for this, I saw Jackie doing it. Now then you can start to really digest the deeper understanding of the brain and what we're doing when we do this technique. All right, so this is the way that we do it. We do nice big deep breathing throughout the whole technique. We use a nice wide open hand, because one of your hands is going to be known as the tapping hand, and the actually the other hand will be used as hand placement on the brain here. So we're going to be covering all regions of the brain, working from back to front, and then we're going to be covering the temporal lobes. And what the hand placements do is they bring attention, the brain's attention to itself and the different regions that we're covering. So I start with one hand with fingers closed together right on the base of my skull, where the brain starts at the top of the brain stem. And with my other hand, I'm going to do nice light tapping across the top of the brain. And just to the left of the sternum where the heart brain is, and then just at the top of the belly button, where the focus on the etheric brain or the gut brain is. And then I'm going to move my hand up, just one hand position. That's all I have to do. And I'll do light tapping. And move it up one more position. So you're welcome to join me if you want. Quite often you'll notice this real calming effect that just ripples throughout the body. It's very common to yawn. Moving it forward again. We want to go all the way around to the front of the eyebrows. So when we do class, give you tons of tips and tricks on all different ways that you can do this technique, because you might have to do it for family members and they might have a migraine, so there's special ways you do it for that. You're going to be doing all these techniques for animals, and there's very special ways that we do that because we don't do them directly onto the animals. Let's cover the temporal lobes, bring attention to those. So we run the hands from front to back. And you can release your hands and tap over the three brains. So just pay attention to how you're feeling. I feel markedly different, yes, since when I started. I feel so much better. So for me, I probably will do the cortices technique as probably about another 7 times today, just because I feel like I really need that extra support. Normally I would just do it once a day. If I've got a lot of stress, big workload, I do it more. But I will also now, when we disconnect, I'll finish going through the rest of the access techniques so that it just really supports my body in the process that it's going through right now and gives me the best possible platform to move forward for the rest of the day, because I have a really big clinic schedule on today. So I would love it if you came and joined me in class May 7th, 8th, 9th. It's online in my private Zoom room, you and I doing it together. And as I said, you get lots of support. It's over 3 days, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to pop the link down into the comments or somewhere around here so that you can go through and you can enroll and check it out, because the discount only lasts for another 2 days. I look forward to seeing you. Bye for now.